concerns me about the wellhead that we talked about yesterday. But if it stays steady, that shows that it'll hold it. If it levels off at a lower pressure, then they've got a leak down below. If it goes up and then breaks down, then they've caused some damage. So that's what they're going to be looking for.
And what do they do in either eventuality? How does this turn out?
They got to open it up. They've got to get this well flowing back to the surface through those 4 risers that have been set in place to keep pressure off the well so it doesn't leak either underground blowout farther down or possibly to the surface in some of this upper damage.
How confident are you in their having the equipment that's needed to fully examine the well bore and the sea floor for damage, or are they just going by those pressure measurements?
I think they're doing a pretty thorough evaluation. I've been watching the ROVs. They've been flying the ROVs real low over the bottom all around the well, and they've got one focused on the well and others focused on other parts of the operation, some of the ROV cages and some of the gauges. So they're watching it pretty closely.
As we mentioned, Admiral Allen says it remains likely that they'll resume containment of the oil using the cap. Is there a way to read anything into that, or is he just hedging his bets since they're operating without enough information yet themselves?
What I read into that is they know this well can't be shut in for a long period of time. Plus, they really don't want this well to be shut in while they're trying to complete that relief well that's just a few feet away, because that creates bottom hole pressure that's harder for them to kill once they get there.
Once again, do you have any, is it any clearer to you today than it was yesterday about why this sequence has occurred in the way it has, the tests and the suspension initially of the tests and then the resumption of the tests, and then the tests were going to be 6-hour intervals, and all of a sudden the thing is entirely shut off? It just doesn't sound, like you said yesterday, it sounded more than just a little ad hoc.
Yeah, it's clearly been on the fly, and there's a lot more discussion behind the scenes, obviously, with the government and the BP team than what they're disclosing to the public. And what I've learned in this whole experience is if you get a long period of silence, something's going on. And so I think that's a lot of what's happened today. Plus, they've had those leaks in the stack they've had to fix.
Oil industry veteran Bob Cavnar of the Daily Hurricane.